Let's see, here we are. All right. Good morning. It is 6:30. It is June 13th. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to this 6:30 club where I go over levels of the major indices. I talk about the composure of the tape. What time frame are you in? What kind of active exposure do you have, long or short? Are you in tons of cash? Where are we at? What's the media obsessing about, and how do I make you some money, or at least keep you safe? Because staying safe in an environment like this is probably 75% of the battle. So here, take a look at the disclosure before we get to it. I'm going to say hello to some of my friends around the world as we put the chart of the SPY up. What up, Queens, New York? What up, Ridgefield? What up, Palm Beach? How we doing, CB Garcia? What up, Austin? Good morning, Texas. How you feeling out there? What else we got? We got Peekskill in the house. I went to sleepaway camp in Peekskill, Surprise Lake. What up, Geneva? How you doing? You getting ready for the day? You getting your levels in front of you? What up, Connecticut? How's it going, Canada? Love to see you tuning in from Hawaii. No, okay, that's not nice. So what is that? A stereotype. What up, Philadelphia? Philadelphia's tired today. I'm tired today. I went all the way to Maryland to do championship weekend for Chase for basketball. He did well. We lost in the semifinals, so I'll tell you, there's some big boys out there in AAU land, and they play hard, but all is well. What up, UK? How you feeling over there? You getting ready for the day? You getting your levels prepared for the week? You know, we have the Fed on Wednesday, which should be very interesting. We got Shanghai in the house. All right. Hopefully, maybe you don't go zero policy on COVID, because at this point, I know a lot of friends who have it, and it's like a common cold. But anyway, you guys do what you want to do over there. Mars is in the house. Yes, stay out there. I did see a little special on looking for UFOs. I'm like, is that what we're really talking about right now, UFOs? Why don't we deal with some of the problems here, in our own world, and not worry about what's happening out in the galaxy? What up, Highland Park? Listen, one of my favorite songs, pressure is something you could embrace. Pressure is something you could ask for, or pressure is something you could be scared of. One of the games this weekend, my son, we were down by 1. He got fouled. They gave him the ball so he would get fouled, so he would get 1-and-1 from the line. Down 1 with like 10 seconds left. That's a little pressure, right? You don't make the first one, you don't get a second one. Some guys are scared of the ball, and some guys, want the ball. How do you do it? Because you have confidence and you're prepared. So that's what I try and do here, guys. I try and prepare you guys for the day, for the week, and keep you in the right frame. Now, if you remember on Thursday, I was talking about get above and stay above, or get below and stay below. Get above and stay above, or get below and stay below. My two things are going to happen. We're going to have a little bit more of a bounce to the upside, hit a level, and then go and try and make lows and maybe new lows on the year, or we're not. How do we know that? Well, we have an inside range. Where was that inside range? Right here. Remember how upset everybody was? Oh my God, Red Dog, it's so choppy. Red Dog, it's so choppy. Red Dog, it's so choppy. Well, usually what they want to do is they want to wear everybody out. They want to bait people in, which is what was happening here. And then it resolves. And when it resolves, there's power there because of all the pent-up energy. So anyway, right here, I remember on Thursday, we couldn't get back above 410.50, and then we broke below it, broke below 407. At that point, if you remember, I'm like, the guy's like, Red Dog, how are you playing? And I'm like, well, I bought some 415 calls and some 410 puts and some 47 puts and some 395 puts for the week after. And, when it breaks that way, I'll have options on, and hopefully it'll happen in, intraday. So I could also be short the SPYs in the queue. So it was a heck of a trade. Besides not being caught in a portfolio approach, hoping and praying for a market rally, which we haven't been in a portfolio approach pretty much for this entire year. Why? Because we've been below the 8 and 21-day moving average. And if you read my ebook, when the S&P is below the 8 and 21-day moving average, you are not actively in positions. You are trading. You're looking for longs. You're looking for shorts. And you're sitting primarily in cash as the market goes through a discovery phase. So anyway, we broke that level, back below the moving averages. You had a hot CPI. We went over that also on Friday. I said if the core is higher, and if it's above, they're going to sell us down into the Fed and probably retest the lows of the year. And oh my goodness, here we are, right at the lows of the year. So some people say, how did this happen? Well, that's how it happened. We were resolved right here on Thursday, downside follow through on Friday. So now 380.53 is your point of reference. We were a little bit below that about a half hour ago, and now we're a little bit above it. If you want to look at the futures right now, the futures are down 90, which is a pretty big down open. Dow futures are down 600. NASDAQ futures are down 345. Europe, what's it doing? Europe's down 2%, third day in a row down 2%. Asia got hit. So all asset classes are getting hit. And you know what also gave you clues? When Ethereum on Friday broke 1,700. I've been showing you the long-term chart of Ethereum and Bitcoin, and everyone's like, where's the bottom, Red Dog? I'm like, not yet. Ethereum is already going to be at that 1418 pivot from 2021. That means Bitcoin has to probably break below the recent pivot low of 25 something or other. And if we're going to retest 3,800 or below, why would you be buying cryptocurrencies? Anyway, let's go back to here. So here is 380.53. Write that down. I would think remember when right here the oscillator was up plus 80 and everybody comes on TV after a 10% rally and they're like, I think we're going to have an oversold bounce. I'm like, you friggin' idiots. What do you think this was? That was your oversold bounce. Now we need to consolidate and burn off the plus 80 condition. Mr. Chill was beating the table to buy things in here. I'm like, how could you be beating the table to buy things in here after a 10% rally in a bear market that has 3 more rate hikes in front of it, and still whatever. I'm not going to get into other people, but anyway, write down 380.53. That's your level in the SPYs. Your level in the Qs, very, very similar. It also, look at this downtrend. We've been in this downtrend for all or most of 22. Had a little bit of a rally. Yes, perhaps there was a chance we can go to the upside, but that chance, okay, got nullified right here, and then that was your way to get out of some leftover longs if you were testing them for more of an oversold bounce. That did not happen. So right here, we broke 302.68. We also went over that level right here in the 630 club on Thursday. Some people got puts. Some people got out of just their risk. Some people got short. Anyway, 280.21 is this low from right here, from the May 20th, 2000 low is right there. Okay, so if you want to write that down, write that down. So how could you think about this today? Okay, write this down too. There are 3 things that could happen. It could kiss this level and hold it, right? It could hold it and bounce off it. So if you come in pretty flattish, or if you come in net short, that's an area probably to cover some shorts and think about maybe buying versus a 5-15-minute low just as a trade. Not as the summer bottom, not as the bottom in 2022, but just as a trade because you have the Fed on Wednesday, and we were just here at 307. So third down day into a little bit of now following an oversold reading. We're probably going to be minus 80. Where here we were plus 80. So that could be a spot that some computers are programmed to try. So I'm probably going to be looking in the first 5, 15, 30 minutes to buy versus an area, not press shorts. If it can't, if it tries to bounce and the bounce is feeble and the leaders are feeble, maybe, a little bit later in the morning, you could short through this 280 area for lower lows. But first time here early in the morning, I would say write that down. The key, either bounce off of it first, or what it could do is it can get below it. You could see some acceleration, you could see some fear, you could see a trapdoor, and then maybe it tries to reclaim it a little bit later in the morning or the afternoon, or it just stays below and you have a trend down day, and you can get, just go. You can't read, that's 280.21. If you can't read this, turn your phone the other way. Okay, this is 280.21. So if you go back to, what's it called, just say the SPYs, a lot of guys like Red Dog, you've been helping me over the past 2 decades with my long-term accounts. I'm like, well, your long-term accounts, if you're 49 like me, you put in some flows, S&P cash every single month. That's what I do. My wife's cash account, I showed you guys the weekly here. Okay, I showed you guys saying, hey, this is what I'm looking at. We had on the weekly, you can see what happened here. All we really did is go back and retest the neckline of this head and shoulders top pattern. And then when we broke this 407 area, get the hell out of the way. So ultimately, if this 380.53 breaks, this is 361-ish. Okay, that's the next spot. So if you go to S&P cash, I wrote out a whole plan here where you could see it online. I'm not going to go over it. Okay, I gave you guys this whole plan on Friday of what I was looking to do. Okay, here I went over what was happening, and here I went over, what I'm doing with my wife's cash account. I've only put 25% to work. She's been in 100% cash, literally, since we played this move where I bought 3 times down, and I think I got out somewhere around here. So now I'm starting to leg in 25% of the time. I've already done 25%. I waited till about 17% off highs, and now I am not doing another 25% unless we get to 36.20-ish. I'll do another 25%. And here are the other 2 levels. Mike Wilson, or whatever his name is, from Morgan Stanley said 3,400. That makes some sense, but that's not going to happen in the next week or 2. That might happen sometime over the summer once we see how bad the corporate earnings is going to be and how all their guidance is going to be lowered. So anyway, let's go back. So here in the weekly charts, okay, I discussed with you crypto. I'm like, guys, stay the hell away from Ethereum. Ethereum looked the worst, right? Ethereum, look at this. Look at this chart in Ethereum, okay? How bearish, my goodness gracious. So here was your whatever you called your false breakout top to sell at 3,700. Here is when it broke all the moving averages right around 2,800. Here, you remember this ascending channel here, head and shoulders top. That's when it broke 2,300. And then if you look across, I wrote this and I gave you guys this chart a bunch of times. Like, we break 1,700, okay, it's going to head down to at least 1,419, which was your 2018 pivot. Holy cow. And if that gets there before Bitcoin even breaks 26,000, why would you be buying Ethereum now? Then Ethereum is going to at least probably get towards this 828. And here we are. Ethereum was as low as 1158. So I actually have 2 bids in. I have good till cancel orders in, one at 1,060 and one at 875 if we were to see it at this first kiss. And then if you go to Bitcoin also, I showed you this. I've been literally, I navigated this pretty well, I have to say, considering I'm not at the highs of my year anymore in Bitcoin, which how could you be with altcoins down 80-90%? So if you held 25% of something that went up 8-9 times for you, it still hurts you. But right here, this is when we basically said get rid of longs, went to about 75% cash. Here it tried to wedge again, and then it broke below this. And then remember, we drew this 37 area, broke. Then I drew this little area fee here, and now looks like 19.8 is the spot. The same 19.8 is the same spot that's 1,400 for Ethereum back from 2017. Anyway, this is where I had the huge buy. That was when I started my crypto life, and that was, look at that awesome move above the 820 one day. Here we've been below, besides this one little overthrow. So anyway, I'm not looking to buy any Bitcoin until maybe 18 to 20,000. I just don't need to be bothered, especially the day I woke up at 5 in the morning and I saw Luna was a 0. I got rid of all my loose altcoins. I'm like, if Luna can go to 0, it's supposed to be a stable situation. I am out. Crazy thing is, all those things that were already down 50% then went down another 50%, another 50%, saved myself a boatload of money. But anyway, let's get back to equities real quickly. Let's go to Apple. Okay, where could Apple go? Apple, also, maybe it's playing a little bit of downside catch-up. I'm not in Apple, but it's something I will have on my radar this week, okay, to see if it could be played. Remember when it broke this 153 area? First, actually, it broke was 168. So even Apple, plays technically by the rules. So I would watch 132.61. That would be a spot to write down. That's the low of the year. Where's Apple right now? I'm not even sure. Let's see. Apple is 133. So Apple showing still some relative strength. Apple is let's let me go back to the daily chart instead of the weekly chart for Apple. We don't need that. We don't need that. Apple's one of the few still kind of hanging around. So 133.59 is a little bit above 132.61. So write down 132.61. Maybe Apple tries to bounce off that spot. If Apple can't hold 132.61 and it breaks and stays below, chances are there's going to be more pressure on the SPYs and the Qs, and we might not get that buyable spot off there. You think it's going to 125? It could. You want to go back to the weekly chart of Apple. Anything can happen in this market. Apple can go to, the 118. That's 118 for Apple. And then here is, actually, this is 108. I thought this was what, 115-ish. What's this low here? This low is 116. I got to redo some of these numbers I had on before from weeks ago. But Apple, just broke this area and this area. If it breaks 132 and the market wants to continue down, yeah, Then you got to go to your weekly charts. Remember when I went to the weekly charts on Netflix, on Facebook, on Amazon? They're all breaking the daily chart, so you have to go back to the weekly charts. That's, how deep some of the correction phases these are getting into. I would say this is 118-ish. 118-ish, I don't think that that happens today. That's a bigger level later this summer, because I have to believe the Apple court is not going to be good. I have to believe the Amazon court is not going to be good. Look what happened to Walmart and Target. People are starting to close their wallets, and you still can't get things. I'm still waiting for a goddamn dishwasher. My wife finally got the dishwasher after I redid my kitchen, and it's damaged. She got the guy to come back off the house, put the dishwasher, open it up, and the goddamn dishwasher was getting damaged. I'm like, listen, this is a Short Hills problem. You'll be fine. But she's been washing dishes for like 8-9 months. But anyway, so 118-ish is there. If you take a look at Amazon, I haven't looked at this chart in a while, too, on the weekly, but here's when Amazon broke. We had your retest, and now Amazon, this is the low of the year on Amazon. What is that? That's 101.26. But still, I feel like you have to, you don't need to buy Amazon for the long term, because you still have to go through earnings, and earnings, in my opinion, are not going to be good for Amazon. But anyway, we'll see. Go to the daily chart. A lot of people made a lot of money shorting Amazon. Why would they make money shorting Amazon? Didn't it do a split? Well, it did a 25% move pre-split from 101 to 129 right there. And then, if you remember, it had that push-through failure, right? That's what Amazon did have. It had a push-through failure. What's a push-through failure? It baits people in, gets above a level after a big move, puts in a topping tail, which is what it did there. That's called a red dog reversal sell. So if you were playing Amazon for a pre-split move, well, that's what happened there. Okay, and then it wanted to break in this 120.63. That was where you had to either get out or get short. And then you had 2 big down days. So now into this area, I might look to play Amazon for a short-term bounce just for the day, but we'll see. I can't get to shop right now. It's already 6:47. I have 3 minutes, and then I have to go spend time with the Alpha team and put together 40 charts for Redler All Access. If any of you guys want to be part of my team all day long, Scott@T3Live.com. I'll send you over to one of my trader counselors. But if you like to just be here for the 6:30 club, that's cool too. So this is 101.26. This is, what was this? This was the low from, what's it called, Amazon on Friday. So we'll see what happens here. I would focus on Apple, Amazon, maybe Microsoft. Remember Tesla? Listen, on Friday, people are like, Red Dog, Tesla's doing a split. I'm like, they already announced a split. I'm like, it's not new news. You can look at 402 on the public Twitter. I'm like, this is not new news. I actually shorted Tesla after hours. I made good money. I didn't stay short Tesla because I didn't feel like dealing with it over the weekend. I probably should have, but it is what it is. So for today, it'll be interesting to watch Tesla to see if it shows any kind of relative strength. Tesla has not been the Tesla that I usually sit and hold. Why? Because it hasn't been special. Remember in March we made all that money in a special sequence? Well, then here was your lower high. Here's when they sold earnings. 973 was pretty much when it changed composure and broke. A lot of people made money short that day. And then all of a sudden, you had a red dog reversal sell. Yes, right here at 749. It pushed through, couldn't hold it. And now we'll see where it is this morning. Let me see where Tesla. Last I looked at it, it wasn't, it was showing a little relative strength. It was upgraded on Friday, whatever. I'll watch it today. Maybe there's a trade in Tesla. Tesla is only down 22. So Tesla right now is down 22 at 674. This is 683. This is 669. So we'll see. Whatever holds above the low of the year when the spies and the Qs are testing it, that means it's showing you a little relative strength. So it makes it a little bit better to play that versus something else. So we'll see. Does Tesla play downside catch up to go to the lows of the year, or does it show some relative strength, and does the spies and the Qs come off those two areas and give you a Q trade today? Anyway, you should be watching the TLTs. The TLTs are a good indicator. Once the TLTs broke this little ascending triangle and went to the downside, that means rates were going back up, and that put pressure on equity. So you should have the TLTs up. Oil is down a little bit, so see how that reacts, because every asset is down. So that's a good thing, but it's not really down that much. Just be prepared with plan A, B, and C. This morning, the oscillator is going to be minus 80, so we're going to be a little bit oversold. You have the Fed on Wednesday. Sometimes people like to square up a little bit. The time to have been short was Thursday, or that was the day to get rid of some risk. and maybe even on Friday. Today, I'd be covering shorts, not pressing shorts, and carefully looking to buy verse levels for a trade. Doesn't mean it's going to be the summer low or the 2022 low. It just might mean you can make some cash flow and net money as an active individual in the market if you're prepared and you're not caught. And if you've been watching the 630 Club, I got to believe you're in good shape, thinking clearly, working on your process, not freaking listening to the idiots on TV who play traders on TV just because they've been there for a while. They can get you hurt. Usually they get louder when they're wrong. They don't change. They don't have stops. They don't tell you when they're wrong. So with that being said, take accountability, get your research done, have your levels, have some confidence, be on your toes, only follow guys who you really trust that who are putting their best foot forward. No one's always right. I'm not always right either. I'm just going to consistently try and put myself in a position with high probability plays with my set of rules because I've been doing this for 22 plus years and I'm still here. And I actually closed at the highs of my year. Yes, I'm going to freaking say it. Closed at the highs of my year on Friday in my active world of equity because I've been in lots of cash. I haven't been sitting in longs, holding my nose and going underwater. I actually made decent money short Thursday into Friday. So I'm coming into this week, opportunistic, and hopefully many of you guys are as well. And if you're not, go day by day, trade by trade, hour by hour. Little things start to make you feel better. And once you start feeling better, you'll start putting more on. Or if you really just feel that you turn around, take a step back and just watch for a little bit and make sure you get your head straight so you don't lose more. With that said, good luck today, guys. I appreciate you. Stay strong, keep your process strong, and you can handle it.